That's
And there's a forest along the New Jersey coast. It's called the Ghost Forest. I forget what kind of trees they are, but the trees are all white.
oh.
They're not supposed to be white. They're supposed to be green, but they're all white because the trees are all dead. Why are they all dead? Because of the saltwater intrusion.
Uh-oh.
From storm surges or the salt water getting to the water table. Well, the trees they prefer fresh water. Now they've got salt water going up through their roots and blah blah blah. Creating osmotic difficulties, killed the trees. So now you got this band of white trees. And this is something we're going to start seeing as sea levels rise. We're going to see the saltwater intrusion into the groundwater, into the water table, into the aquifers, and so on and so forth. And it's soon going to be that you can't just open up your tap and drink what comes out of there. You got to put like a desal thing on your tap to get the salt out of it so you can drink it.
Very fascinating, yet alarming.
So that brings what you said is going to be wars, and you're totally correct. Is that, and I've been saying this for some time, I expect the next wars to be fought over clean, potable water.
I believe it. I think there's already examples like with rivers in like Egypt and stuff. Like, yeah, there's already starting to become conflicts because there's less and less
Yeah,
resources. But we have them between two countries. That's a whole nother issue.
yeah. So, and let's face it, we all need water more so
Serious.
than more so than food, to be quite honest.
Wow, Jim, this is so like it's so like hard to conceptualize, but once you do, it's just like like holy shit.
Yeah, it's. I
Slow
mean,
motion destruction and then all at once. And then we can go back to like the UN and say like this false hope conversation still. Yeah, just we need to stop like all this. It's weird, the message, it's way off in my opinion of like the urgency to meet these issues if we're ever going to, which I don't feel like we can. But they're giving the appearance that they're trying. Like,
I mean, yeah. You mean take for example, we discussed this before, how the IPCC keeps moving the damn goalpost. Well, it's only at 1.1 degrees. Really, it's more like a 1.5, 1.6 already. Stop moving the
yeah,
goalposts. And if we really did this and we really do that, okay, what about the ocean? What about the methane?
good point.
Methane bombs, and whether it's from the oceanic shells or from the ground. We talked about this before, just having not just little, there's a little poof out of the ground. It's like, well, we just blew out a big chunk of the ground. There's now a 10-meter crater there that drops down several thousands of feet.
Oh my
Hey, look,
gosh.
don't go near the edge because you won't be able to breathe because it's all methane. It's like, don't light a match.
Yeah, yeah, the imagery of like the Arctic with like the gases are coming out, like that whole issue is gonna be on steroids.
And then you start multiplying that across the whole circumpolar. And I mean, the conservative estimates I'm seeing something like 14 gigatons of methane. That's conservative.
Yeah, we don't, the conservative is conservative. So just
Right.
add a few more on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
As scientists, we tend to be conservative because we don't want to be hyperbolic. But anyway, it's just like,
yeah, but there's options, there's ranges, I guess.
but just think what 14 gigatons of methane means if that gets into the atmosphere in a quick and relatively quick time frame. What that means for heating, they'll create a massive heating, and well, methane oxidizes down to CO2. So even after 10 years of the time frame it takes to oxidize down, it's still going to be the warming effect from now the CO2. And so it's going to stay with us for quite some time. And think about like the fires in Siberia. The firefighters stopped fighting it because not only was the ground burning, and plus you have all that, you're burning the the plants and the vegetation. So that's releasing the CO2. You're thawing out the ground. You're burning so you're releasing CO2 from the ground, but then you're also releasing the methane. But because there was fires there, the methane was burning. And methane fires is like not a fun thing to try and get under control,
Oh my
especially when it's a
God.
wildfire situation. So they actually stopped fighting the fire and just let the stuff burn. And now they say it was like 1.3
Wow.
trillion tons of CO2 as a result of those fires. I think that's what they said. I could have my numbers wrong, but they basically said it was the equivalent for like a, a year or two of burning, something like that. It was just
Oh my
a
gosh.
tremendous amount of greenhouse gases put up into the atmosphere.
On top of like, other forests and rainforest. I mean, it's just pretty incredible that, like you said, the feedback loops of what's happening, of fires creating more CO2 because of the CO2. It's like this rapid snowball, fireball. I don't know what to say. Yeah,
Fireball. There you go.
yeah,
Fireball.
exactly. It's not the we're not getting any colder. No, but like that is so. Methane fires sounds like sci-fi type. You know what I mean? Like
But
planets that rain glass. Like, like holy
But don't
shit.
forget, methane is also what people call natural gas. So when you run your stove, your cooking stove on natural gas, you're burning methane. So you have that happening
Oh
in
shit.
addition to the pollution from the automobiles, from the power plants, and so on and so forth. I mean, and we're going to get to
I'm
zero
ready for it.
emissions by 2030. You are not going to be able to undo 2+ centuries, 2.5, almost 1750, it's almost 3 centuries. You're not going to undo almost 3 centuries of damage within a decade. You're just not.
Good point, Jim. Yeah, that's simple math. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, you're not gonna
Huh.
heal the environment in that short time span.
I'm a simpleton. I can figure that out. But like,
Damn it.
280 versus 10. Nope, not happening.
That's actually a really intelligent point you just made. No, that was good because yeah, let's start saving the planet. Like, and we expect some miraculous change in 10 years versus like you just said 280. That was very smart. That was, yeah, that's a good concept of to like visualize.